Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
Also, if you're looking for a unique gift for the holiday season, check out the Compliance Kids series. It's my 3-book children's series on compliance and compliance professionals for children. But they make great gifts and great training tools for your employees. You can check it out on Amazon.com. We've linked to it in the show notes. The Daily Compliance News for December 11, 2024, the Atomic Makeup Edition. Well, now that I've gotten your attention, let's look at some of the top compliance stories. And to fight forced labor, Shine and Patagonia are digging into the atomic makeup of their clothes. Apparel makers are facing increased scrutiny of their supply chains and are turning to forensic companies that can extract a unique chemical fingerprint. This is a isotopic fingerprint, which the companies will hope will determine whether suppliers were honest about where materials came from. So this is a really interesting development, and we're going to keep our eye on this one. All of our stories come to us from the Wall Street Journal today, so we won't be announcing where they're from, except this next one comes from the Risk and Compliance Journal. Mark Vardabidian reporting. Sorry if I butchered your name, Mark. Matthew Axelrod, who currently heads the export control in the Biden administration and is leaving, has said that he expects there will be an increased or renewed enforcement of export controls, and it will continue despite any ideological differences between Biden and Trump. Axelrod has been instrumental in raising the profile of the BIS for export control. Of course, they're well known to compliance people, but I would wholeheartedly agree that the Trump administration will continue robust enforcement in the export control area. Our next article comes from the CFO Journal. Mike Maurer reporting that PCAOB critic Paul Atkins, of course, has been appointed or nominated to head the SEC, and he is a longtime critic of the PCAOB, which leads many to wonder if it could spur major changes at the audit watchdog, including a move to abolish it. It certainly is something that we should consider and be ready for. And our final story comes to us from the CFO Journal. Once again, Mike Maurer reporting that the SEC's top accountant keeping a close eye on private equity deals. Audit quality must remain at the core of accounting firms, even when stakes are given to private equity investors. Of course, PE is not known for its concern about quality of products of companies it buys, only the profitability that they generate for them. So, as with PE moving into the medical space, the SEC is watching PE-owned audit firms very closely to make sure audit quality does not suffer. Boy, is that needed. At the start of this podcast, the sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Well, Ethico has a great new offering this month for you, a toolkit for middle managers. This is something that you, as the compliance professional, can use to move your compliance program forward by giving middle managers the skills necessary to answer a call for speak up or when someone comes in their office and raises a concern. I can't think of a tool that will be more valuable for you in the current era of enforcement. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.